What's up, guys? Here with you with FC Wonderkid, episode 48. Here with my guy, Bretson. How are you?
Different vibe, man. Tropic vibe. I'm down in Miami, off-site, Miami, Florida, on some hotel internet. So this will be really interesting. How are you doing, man? We're like 4 days away from a reckoning. 4 days away from like the biggest game in Portuguese history. No, just kidding. Uh,
Whoa.
you ready?
Def-
Are you ready for this?
I am not ready, but I am ready to do a live on Twitch and on the 24th. Everyone of FC Wonderkid community, please be there with us because we are going to go extremely bold for that live. Portugal against Turkey, but we're gonna talk more on that more forwards. But yeah, I'm really nervous, as you should be too, as a US fan. A US fan. But this week there was something magnificent that happened, something sensacional, like Luva de Pedreiro says, and it was the Champions League sorteio. We know the teams that are gonna go against each other, and some teams may be happy and some teams not.
Yeah.
So I want to start here with Chelsea, Real Madrid. Okay? Because for me, this is one of the biggest doubts in all the fixtures. It's exactly a juicy one. Because Real Madrid have never beaten Chelsea in the knockout stages, okay? So Ancelotti has a huge test. And for Benzema, if he gets this done, okay, knocking Chelsea out with Real, Ballon d'Or top 5 list.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
definitely.
Yeah, Real Madrid is going to want some revenge from last year, right? It was last year's semifinals. I believe it was Christian Pulisic masterclass, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I think he had the equalizer in the first leg, and then he assisted. I think it was the Mason Mount goal for them to win 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. So, yeah, this is definitely the juiciest draw of the bunch. And not just Chelsea has a good record against Real Madrid. It's also Tomás Tuchel, right?
Yes.
He has a good record against, I think it's 6 games versus Real Madrid. And he's unbeaten in all 6 of those games. So, massive.
And there's three players for Chelsea that have to be in their top-notch game to beat Real. And that is N'Golo Kante. He has to be top levels. Reece James has to be top levels. And the third player, for me, is going to be the player that everybody's going to be talking against Real. And that's Kovacic. Kovacic will have the sauce to stop Real Madrid. Okay? I really believe in the midfield of Kante with Kovacic, okay? So, yeah, and Tuchel, amid all the speculation of Tuchel maybe leaving next season, now is the time and place to prove to the world that he wants to stay long-term at Chelsea. And, yeah, they're definitely top contenders if they beat Real Madrid.
I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. And I just don't – for Real Madrid, it's how do you bottle up that momentum that you've built up with that miraculous comeback at the Bernabeu? How do you make sure that Casemiro, Modric, and Kroos can deliver? How do you make sure Karim Benzema, gets he doesn't need service, but like he added another 2 goals right over just recently. So they're coming into this. Both teams are coming into this pretty hot. You know, Chelsea dispatched Middlesbrough, and are into the FA Cup semifinals back to Wembley.
Thought it'd be tougher. I thought it'd be tougher against Middlesbrough and Lukaku.
Well, yeah. I mean, hey, it's good. It's good that they got out of that without injuries, without issues. But really, this is the one I'm most excited about. I'm not gonna lie, right? Simeone ball for the Atleti Manchester City isn't exactly going to be the most exciting thing to watch. But Chelsea Real Madrid should be a fun game to watch. I mean, and you're right. N'Golo Kante, I think more than Kovacic. I think more than who was the other one? Yeah.
Reece James.
Reece James, right. N'Golo Kante, though, last year, he was, it was throughout the whole knockout stage. He was the guy, right? And Edouard Mendy, you might as well mention him, too. Through those knockout stages for the Champions League, all the way to the final, all the way to the champion, hoisting the trophy. N'Golo Kante was the man, and if he can step it up in these big games, it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch.
And the last player to mention in this fixture is Vinicius Junior. That Ancelotti, he's doing bits with him. And Vinicius Junior has 38 games this season and 31 goals and assists, okay? It might be the best season. It's the best season ever of Vinicius Junior. And no doubt in my mind, he's one of the top under 21 ballers in the world. So he's got to prove himself. Big time against Chelsea.
Yeah, and you're right, because this is all this is where it counts. Like, this is where you absolutely need to have the performance that he's been building up to all season. So it'll be interesting to see if he disappears or if he is the new Vinicius we all think he is under Ancelotti.
And Chelsea's renowned for their fullbacks. Like, their fullback game is on point on the wings. Yeah. So defending. Like, Vinicius Junior is going to have a huge test. But you mentioned fast, Man City, Atletico. Yeah. And I'm just going to start by saying this, okay? Guardiola had some really interesting comments on Simeone. And he said that he envies how good Atletico is in the counterattack. And I got to say, that is fucked, okay? Yeah. The midfield of Atletico is built for counterattack. Sure. Koke, Herrera, Rodrigo de Paul. 3 players that can snatch the ball anytime, and they conduct the ball phenomenally in midfield to get that last pass up forwards. Yeah. So, what do you think is going to happen? You think Man City's going to get this done?
Well, I think it's a whole lot harder than we I don't know. I mean, Simeone ball is back, right? And they've won 6 out of the last 7. There's still 2 weeks until this fixture, so we know Atletico has changed on a dime in terms of their form. They've gone into whatever, and they've won 6 of their last 7, and they're unbeaten in 7. So they dispatched United playing a brand of football that was not very fun to watch. And then you add that to João Felix is I gotta ask you before we go on with this. Would you say João Felix is the most informed Portuguese player right now?
Jota and João Felix, yeah. I think those 2. I think Jota and João Felix. Okay. I'd say those 2, yeah. I'd say those. I have some bold mentions, but those 2, João Felix, ridiculous. And I'd got to say something too. Yeah. There's a player at Atletico that is extremely underrated, and he must be in the best signings last winter. And that is Reinildo. They got it for 3 million to Lille, and I'm watching Atletico play, and he's the best defender. He's the best defender. He's got motivation, aggression. He does it all on the field. He's like a proper Simeone style of player. Okay? He does what he's got to do, and he gets it. He gets in the dirty zone. That Simeone loves those tackles. Yeah. So I think that signing of Reinildo did change Atletico too, and obviously João Felix up to pace now. Yeah. But yes, I think Man City is gonna get this done though. And yeah, I think it's Guardiola can't let it go. Guardiola can't.
Yeah.
If it was peak Atletico against peak City, peak Atletico against this City team, I'd say peak Atletico. But since this is not the case right now, I go City.
I go City. Yeah, I want to, it's March Madness in the States right now. It's college basketball in the States where upsets are absolutely everything. You had a 15 seed beating a 2 seed, right? In March Madness. I really, really want to think that Atleti could maybe get by Manchester City, but
no Ruben.
But even with that, it's just Pep is great with the mind games, and while he was praising Simeone for the ability to counterattack and to do this and do that, I believe in the same breath he was also saying, well, guess what? I can do that as well. And I honestly believe that Pep is going to have them ready to go all the way to the final. So yeah, I can't look beyond City in this one. And but you're right. I mean, Reinildo was a great shout. I think Renan Lodi scoring his first Champions League goal. Still a young Brazilian fullback / winger. And I mean, just thinking about it, Diego Simeone could literally be the conqueror of Manchester. if he wants to be. Right?
Whoa, that is actually bold. Back to back, he can go with a back-to-back Champions League history here. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I mean, and even just we don't need to go back and rehash what happened in that United game. But I do think Atletico has more of a chance than most people are probably giving them. But I agree with you. I think Manchester City's going to get it done. But we got to go back. Who do you think is going to get it done between Chelsea and Real Madrid?
It's the one I'm doubtful for, but I'm going to lean on Benzema Galacticos Real Madrid, though, to get it done for the first time against Chelsea. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with Tuchel tactical masterclass. And I think he's got the upper hand on Ancelotti. And I'm going to also back my, Christian Pulisic in the knockout stages. He's a different Christian Pulisic. So I'm going to say he's up to 7 goals in the Champions League, which is the most by a lot in U.S. men's national team history. But he's also got the same amount as, I believe, a certain player that can barely see the field for Real Madrid that used to be a Chelsea legend. Who's that? Well, who are we talking about?
Hazard.
Hazard. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Hazard, man. Oh, that's an interesting too for him, right? This leg, like playing against his former team, kind of. Like I think he hasn't had minutes, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not very hopeful on him though. But you go with Chelsea. I go Real. I might be wrong on this one.
Here's the thing: the winner of Chelsea Real Madrid plays the winner of Manchester City Atletico Madrid. So.
Then it's another prediction. But we have to see then how close it is. But yeah, that's gonna be 2 hard legs. So Villarreal Bayern, we're leaning on Bayern.
Yeah, right? I believe it's trickier than people realize. Unai Emery has them organized. They've lost some weird ones to like Elche and Osasuna in La Liga, but they've also fared very well against bigger teams. But if Bayern's dropping 7 on Salzburg, and scoring a bunch, I don't know, man.
Well, last time Bayern Munich played Villarreal was in 2012, and we all know where Bayern Munich went. Okay, they went to the finals where they lost against Chelsea.
Now,
so
but there's a difference. There's a difference between that fixture back then, because when they played Villarreal back then, it was Toni Kroos, Ribéry, Arjen Robben. I think it was Mario Gomez up top.
True,
right?
But Lewandowski now, Müller, Kimmich. I get you.
But more so if you compare them to Villarreal, right? Villarreal had, I believe it was like Jonathan de Guzman, Marco Ruben. Come on, now they've got Gerard Moreno. Now they've got Gerard Moreno. They've got Lo Celso in there. They've got some guys that are very, very capable of having themselves a game. But no, I cannot. They've got Pau Torres. They've got Geronimo Rulli in goal has been phenomenal for them as of late. Jeremy Pino could, I don't know, drop another 4. No, I'm not going against Bayern in this at all. I'd be absolutely stupid to go against Bayern against this. I think Bayern is making it through. And I think it's going to be Bayern-Liverpool in the semis.
There you go. And Pau Torres, like you mentioned him fast. Like I think Pau Torres is going to the Prem. Do you agree with me?
Probably.
He has to go next.
Yeah, he's been. I feel like he's been rumored to be heading there for some time now. Wasn't he a big? Was he a big one when Arsenal was looking for a center back? Was he?
Oh, yeah. I'd prefer Pau Torres to Ben White. I agree with you. Like, and Pau Torres, please, again, I mention it. It has to. Maguire, put Pau Torres at United. But Pau Torres next to Christian Romero at Tottenham. That could happen. But yeah, excellent mention. Villarreal definitely got ballers in Unai Emery. Clutchness in the knockout stages and everything. So yeah, even with Juve, like Allegri saying, that was the best game that Juve played in the European competitions, and they lost 3-0. Yeah. Allegri needs to be shout out too. Like, you can't be saying that, especially with how big Juve is.
Villarreal,
but
winning that game 3-0. Villarreal winning that game 3-0. Vlahovic was
excellent.
Nowhere to be found. But
excellent sub.
Yeah, and I do have to bring up though, like Alphonso Davies is back. I don't know if I said this last week. I don't know if he's going to play a part at all in the coming fixtures. But it was absolutely wonderful to see him and his signature smile on the training pitch for Bayern again. So hopefully he gets some time. Hopefully he can play a role because Bayern, I think Bayern's going for this title.
Yeah, they are, because who they're going to get next? The winner of Benfica contra Liverpool. Yeah. And I just want to say this. I think Liverpool is going to go through comfortably. Okay, I do think the game Na Luz is going to be really good to watch, because Benfica Stadium is not an easy stadium to play at. No? We all know Bayern Munich a couple of years ago, like Talisca with a worldie against Neuer. The vibes were immaculate. So I believe there's going to be an excellent matchup. But Liverpool, come on. League Cup, done. FA Cup, still there. Yeah. English Premier League, they're in the title race. Yeah. Champions League, they're still there. Yeah. Like, Liverpool can win the quadruple with Klopp. And if that happens, I don't know what to say. I don't know. But Klopp is going 100% bold.
Yeah. So well, I've got some really interesting things to kind of bring up here. It sounds like you don't feel like Benfica has a chance. But back in 2006, I am old enough. I am much older than you are. And I am old enough to remember, I believe it was Simão, right?
Yes,
knocking them out. I think they won 3-0 on aggregate.
2-0.
They won both legs, one at Anfield as well, and they also won their Estadio da Luz leg in their most recent meeting, I believe. So they've beaten Liverpool 3 out of the last 4 times. Obviously Liverpool beat them big at Anfield in order to progress. Most recently, I think it was like 2010, the last time they played. So those were different teams, right? Now you're talking about Luis Diaz has played at Porto. You're talking about Diogo Jota, played at Porto, right? So you're talking about some guys that are going to make this a little more of a rivalry.
100%.
Yeah.
Like Bernardo Silva against Sporting type beat, like Luis Diaz and Jota against Liverpool. Like, that's a great mention, man. Oh, my days.
But I do remember that Simão goal big. And I remember wanting to play with Benfica on Football Manager after that for a little while.
Simão is a proper legend, and he was formed in Sporting Academy. It's one of those players, and he is a proud Benfica legend. No, but like he made his career, like big time, his legacy at Benfica and at Atletico de Madrid. So I saw him in his late stages. But a player that we got to mention this time that's turning around for Benfica is Darwin Núñez, okay? And Darwin has 4 goals in the Champions League, 2 goals against Barcelona, 1 against Bayern Munich, and the last one, the iconic goal against Ajax, okay? Yeah. So Darwin has got all eyes on Darwin, okay, against Liverpool. Because, I saw the price tag, 75 million euros. I think Benfica can get that for him if he's got a successful UCL campaign against Liverpool at the end. So, let's see.
Hey, and he's up to what, 26 goals this season?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, he is. More than 20 in the league.
Right. And, 26 anywhere is definitely worthy of a shout, but he's feeling it, and I think he's obviously an X factor heading into this. But there's also some things on Liverpool's horizon that's interesting. You have Trent Alexander-Arnold has, I believe it's a hamstring injury. I don't know how long he's out.
He'll be back second leg.
Okay, and he's definitely missing the international break that's coming up. Which is fine anyway. It's friendlies for them. But you also have hanging over your head Sadio Mane's future, what happens there, one, and also Mo Salah's contract and whether or not that gets done. Do I think that affects a professional like Salah? Probably not. But it is something that something interesting to think about. 1 and 2, midweek in between both of these legs, is Liverpool.
Oh, yes.
Manchester City. So you have to remember that the league is on the line. There's 1 point, right? The league is on the line, Premier League. And both of those teams are going to have to figure out how best to manage this situation, nestled right in between Champions League. So, wow, like that's kind of a lot. Now, I didn't look at Benfica's fixtures, but something tells me they probably don't have a derby heading into.
I think they have a big game close, though. I do think they have a big game close, but like they'll be focused on the Champions League.
Well, true, yeah, they've already lost the Liga B win.
Yeah, but for the coach too, Nelson Veríssimo, he came forward and he said Benfica is in the 8 best teams in Europe and can't go against that because yes, they're next to those 8 teams, but something that you mentioned there with substitutions and team management with Liverpool. Excellent mention that they're going to play City. I almost forgot about that. And I have to say, it was the first time watching Liverpool in a long time that I was watching against Arsenal live on Twitch. Go subscribe to our Twitch, FC Wonderkid. And it was like, I remember there was the substitution of like leaving Luis Diaz and putting on, like, it was Luis Diaz and Jota and putting on Firmino and Salah. I was like thinking to myself, this is the first time I properly feel that Liverpool have proper manpower and the bench. Like on the bench, Firmino and Salah coming to that second half, they destroyed Arsenal and they got the second goal fast with a pressure moment. So I'm edging with Liverpool more and more, Breton, now. I'm edging with Liverpool. And Ruben, people don't talk about this. And maybe I'm Portuguese biased, but Ruben Dias is a massive leader for Man City. I might compare Ruben Dias to Kompany, Vincent Kompany, nowadays at Man City at the back. Because we can't forget how the defense was before he arrived. So him not being there, watch out. Watch out.
So that's
not the same.
That means if you think Liverpool is going through, it's going to be Liverpool, Bayern, semi, and you believe Real Madrid, Manchester City, semi, which means your final is going to be.
I still can't tell you, man. I need to see closer to the games, but I think Liverpool is going to be in my final. Yes.
All right. Well,
very difficult.
We want to hear we want to hear what everyone else thinks, right? What do you think the final's going to be? Who's going to be the winners here? And I don't know.
Tell us your predictions, guys, in the comment section on YouTube. Okay, feel free, go bold. Like, say who's going to win this leg, who's going to be the best player. And do you want to announce fast the Europa League?
Yeah, we can go fast the Europa League, but I do have to just say one more thing about the Champions League. It feels like it's been a long time since that ridiculous Champions League draw. Remember that? Remember when they had to redo it over again because they had the glitch and all that? And like Atletico Madrid wanted Manchester United because they knew that they'd kick them out. And it is just funny that we've already put that in the past and forgotten about it.
It's massive, man.
All right, Europa League draw.
Europa League draw. So let's go with it. And first game that for me is going to be a cracking game, okay? I really don't know who's going to win. It's Leipzig-Atalanta. I just know one thing about this. Loads of goals. Loads of goals and high pressure the whole game for both teams.
Which virtually guarantees it's going to be a scoreless stalemate. I mean, come on. Christopher Nkunku, Andre Silva, motivated. Malinovsky is playing out of his mind for Atalanta right now. Luis Muriel is playing out of his mind for Atalanta. Coop Miners, who I love for AZ Alkmaar, is really starting to pull the strings for Atalanta too. So you're absolutely right. Like this is if Real Madrid Chelsea was the juicy one in the Champions League draw, this is the juicy one in the Europa League draw for sure.
Definitely. I agree with you. I agree. Goals. Yeah. So who do you think's gonna pass?
I believe Atalanta wins.
I'm going Leipzig, Ron.
Are you?
I'm going Leipzig. I believe in Nkunku.
Yeah.
I believe, man. But interesting. Okay. So let's go here with one that I think we both have the same winner. Okay. It's Frankfurt, Barcelona.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we have Barcelona going through, right?
Yeah. I think this is going to be harder than you think. Filip Kostic and Kamada, Jesper Lindstrom has been informed for them. I know that when you compare that to what Barcelona's been doing these days and the can of, as they say in the States, the can of whoop ass that Barcelona opened up on Galatasaray in that second leg. Yeah, it's hard to see my way past Barcelona here. But I think Frankfurt's definitely a harder opponent than most people think. And they dispatched Betis. You know, they dispatched Real Betis, Pellegrini previous to this. So
not easy. But the great mention. Like Pellegrini, Fekir was doing bits that game. Like great mention. Frankfurt. Watch out, people. Yes, Barcelona fans. They'll have a couple of heart attacks in that game. Yeah,
but
I agree with you.
Gavi in that game.
Pedri.
I'm sorry. Is it
Pedri? Pedri.
He was.
Yeah, don't worry.
A freaking masterclass in that Galatasaray game. And
yeah, Jesus, man. Oh, but I'll mention more about Pedri in the Wonderkids. But like, that goal. Yeah, you're going to the right spot. Yeah. Oh my days, unbelievable. So Barcelona, West Ham. Leon. I'm going to go with West Ham. I really believe West Ham can do something amazing in Europa League. I believe in it.
Yeah.
I believe in the whole atmosphere and that second goal, okay?
Yeah.
I believe in them. I believe in them.
I mean, and who they vanquished, right? Who they beat. The perennial Europa League champions, right? Sevilla.
Exactly.
And to beat them 2-0, and, you know, Declan Rice is as confident could be on Twitter. But it's another thing to beat a Lyon team that obviously has some good pieces, but I don't know. I just don't think that they have the firepower to get past a pretty organized West Ham team.
I agree. Paquetá can't do everything. Paquetá can't do everything. So let's go. West Ham goes through. You agree. Now, the last one is, for me, the special one. I'm going to be watching this, and it's Braga versus Rangers.
Yeah.
Okay. I am gonna go with Braga because I gotta believe in my people, and they did a pretty good job against Monaco. So I'm gonna lean up with Braga. But
who has been their studs so far?
Ricardo Horta.
Okay.
Unbelievable. David Carmo back from injury. He's doing good. Abel Ruiz. After that Trincão deal, like Abel Ruiz comes to Braga and he's doing bits.
Yeah.
So, and for me, the player that for me is a cheap beast, and any team in the world should be looking at him. Yes, I am saying every team. He's not like he can be a role player for a top team. Okay. Al Musrati. Okay, top 6. Watch out at Braga. If it's not going to be a Portuguese giant getting him, someone will. Al Musrati at Braga, midfielder, people. Watch out.
Well,
really.
Here's what it comes down to. Rangers, Braga, Lyon, or West Ham are going to the Europa League final. Right? Because the winner of Frankfurt-Barcelona has the winner of RB Leipzig-Atalanta. So you've got most of the firepower on one side. In terms of, attacking power, people, squads that people actually want to watch. I mean, Braga has looked good when they are on form, and they are on form. So I think I'm going to agree with you, even though Rangers is
Braga West Ham, like you're making me think now about like the next games. But like you're hinting to a West Ham Barcelona final, aren't you?
I might be, and if it's not that, it's West Ham Atalanta, and these are just I think it's about time, and I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think it's about time that Atalanta deserves to lift a trophy. Okay, I mean what they have done with their they're not seen as one of the top squads in Serie A, even though that they have outperformed. They have this attacking philosophy that has been just intoxicating to watch over the past how many years now. And I think it is about time that Atalanta gets it done. And I wish they had an easier route there, but they don't. They have the hardest route to get to that final. But I am going to be rooting for Atalanta to win this whole thing. That's I am, because I think it's about time that they get their first trophy before Red Bull Leipzig.
I believe
I put my favorite, I put my favoritism hat on, and it's going to be for Atalanta. The issue here is that they have the hardest route there. But if they get to where they need to play West Ham, Rangers, Braga, or Lyon in the final, I think they can get it done. It's just, how do you get through probably Barcelona and then RB Leipzig first. So anyway, back to Rangers Braga. I do think Braga is going to win this. I don't think Rangers are going to be able to handle it, and we'll see.
We'll see. So I'm going with Braga too. So people, Europa League done. Now put down below your predictions, okay, for the Europa League. We've set our own, and please go bold with them. So I know you wanted to mention fast Conference League.
Just really quickly, we don't need to do predictions, but the Conference League draw is AS Roma is playing Bodo Glimt, and anyone that actually paid attention to the Europa Conference League previously knows that Bodo Glimt at one point beat AS Roma. Yes, Jose Mourinho's AS Roma 6-1. Okay, so that's going to be interesting.
And Erik Botheim had a really good game, right?
Yes, Erik Botheim is great. They've since lost, I think, post this, they lost one of their best players, Patrick Berg. So I don't know if it's the same Bodo Glimt, but obviously Bodo Glimt has gotten here. And they have continued to take that next man up approach, but I do think that AS Roma will get it done this time around. You have Marseille, P-A-O-K. How do you say? You just say PAOK, right? Don't you?
PAOK, yeah.
Yeah, that's where Christos Zolis came from. So I don't know much about that team. Please, any Greek followers, let us know. But we do know Marseille very well. And Matteo Guendouzi is playing very well. Just got a call up to the French national team. What's his name is timeless. The hell's his name?
I know they got Payet.
Who played for thank you. Yes, who played for West Ham, right? For a while and didn't do so hot. But he's been on fire for Marseille. You got Saliba, you've got Conrad on the wing. No, they have other players that are gangbusters for them. So I believe Marseille will get through. Feyenoord, Slavia Praha. Slavia Praha is continuing to do really well, just like they did last year. But Feyenoord, I think, is going to get it done. And then the one I really wanted to talk about is Leicester PSV Eindhoven, right? You got Cody Gakpo. You got Noni Madueke back. You on the other side, you've got Wesley Fofana back for Leicester City. Okay, played his first game. We'll talk about him later. And he is back from his injury. And you've also got you still don't have Jamie Vardy back, but Leicester City is another one to watch. That's the one I really like. Leicester PSV Eindhoven. So
Leicester might win it all. I'll lean up with Leicester to win it all.
Okay.
I believe they can get it. I can believe that. Roma. What a Roma. Let's go with it.
I think Marseille. I'm going to go with Marseille on this.
Okay, so people, put down below your predictions, okay, for who's going to win the Conference League 2.
Yeah.
So go bold with that one too. So let's go now, okay, with the big boy topic for me, and it is the World Cup Qualifiers.
Hey.
And will we start with Portugal?
Yeah, we can start with Portugal. This is not a big boy topic, though. This is not exclusive to you. This is a very big boy topic for me, too. We are not out of the woods yet. We are not in this World Cup yet, and I am incredibly worried. But let's start with you, because you are worried as well, and rightfully so for all of us. So I gotta ask, who do you think he's going to line up? Who's going to be?
Oh my days, that's the first thing, man. If you see like who he selected, first things first, José Sá ain't present. José Sá is one of the best keepers in the Premier League. Yeah. And Fernando Santos has the audacity not to even select him. That is the first thing. Anthony Lopes was selected ahead of José Sá.
Was there a reason? Was there a reason why that he gave or no?
Honestly, no, he didn't give any reason. But Fernando Santos basically selected whoever he knew best. So if you link up the best with Fernando, you are selected for Portugal, okay? Yeah. Because Otávio, this for me is the one that got me going bold here, okay? Going crazy. Otávio, okay, which became Portuguese, Brazilian became Portuguese. Otávio was selected for Portugal. And Vitinha won the best player of the month 3 times in the Portuguese league. and he's not even selected, and he goes to the under-21. And Otávio, which just became Portuguese, is selected for Portugal. What is this blasphemy? What is this blasphemy, okay? Not to select Vitinha, not to select José Sá, and this is the worst one. This is the worst one. He selected William ahead of Palhinha. He didn't select Palhinha. He selected William ahead of Palhinha. And even worse, he could have selected 26 people. He selected 25 Fernando Santos. Por quê? Por quê? Ricardo Horta doesn't deserve to get a Portuguese call-up?
Yeah.
Why? José Sá?
Who knows? Maybe he'll surprise you. He'll fill out that last one over the next couple days. But
we don't have Renato. We have no Renato.
Yeah.
We have no Cancelo for the match against Turkey. And we have no Ruben Dias. No Ruben Dias. Thank God he selected Gonçalo Inácio.
Right.
That is the only hope I got with that selection. It was like, oh, Gonçalo Inácio, oh my days. But yes, you asked me, what was the team that Fernando is going to play? Mm-hmm. And can I do the team that he's going to play and the team I'd play?
Yes.
Okay. Whew, that puts me a bit. Because people need to believe in us a bit, man.
Fired you up, yeah. But when all is said and done, let me get this straight. You still believe Portugal will get it done against Turkey, even with his.
I gotta hope. I gotta hope, Breton. I gotta say yes, man.
Yeah.
With boy Krish. I can't. The last World Cup of Cristiano Ronaldo might be mandatory in 2026 in the US because he doesn't go to this one, maybe, and that can't happen. But okay, let's go with the lineups. So, I believe Fernando Santos is gonna play with Patricio, okay, Nuno Mendes at the left, Pep, José Font. He's gonna put Cedric at the right, I think, because no Cancelo. Then the three in midfield. Oh my days! William, Danilo, and Moutinho. I believe he's gonna go. This is not bold, crazy with this midfield and forwards. Jota, Bernardo Silva, and Ronaldo. I believe this is gonna be the team. Now my team of Portugal with the same 4-3-3. Okay. I'd go with Patricio at the goalie, Nuno Mendes at the left, Pep, Gonçalo Inácio, and at the right, Diogo Dalot. Then the three in midfield, I'd go with Danilo because he was selected, Mateus Nunes, and Bernardo Silva in midfield. Then the three up front, João Félix at the right wing, Ronaldo forwards, and at the left, Diogo Jota. We have to. Bruno Fernandes doesn't play at the same level. Well, at United, he isn't at a big level too.
Right.
But for me, João Félix could be surprising enough at that right wing slot, coming in the middle. If they have everything well positioned, I really believe Félix can shock the world against Turkey and Italy. So, yeah, that's my team, man.
Yeah,
that's my team.
So I guess with
no Renato. I'd put Renato, but Mateus Nunes. There's no Renato, so Mateus Nunes, box to box player. I put him.
Yeah. So this is a one-off game, right?
Yeah.
It's not a one. Right. It's a one-off. So it's paramount he gets it right. I do think, not to play devil's advocate here, but I do think that Fernando Santos's midfield could actually blunt the Turkish attack. Think so?
No, I don't believe, because you remember how we started against Hungary.
Yeah,
we played with Danilo and William in that first game. Well, I think it was Moutinho too. Yeah. I'm not sure, but then he changed to Renato, Ruben straight away. Look, Bretson, I'll be honest with you. If we go with William and Danilo, everyone on live stream, like, put it on FC Wonderkid Twitch, I'll be going absolutely nuts, man, because that is indicating that we're giving the game to Turkey.
Yeah.
And both games of Portugal, we are playing in Portugal. Yeah. Okay? The tickets have all been sold out for months. Okay, so the anticipation, oh my days. So people, tell us in the comment section, who do you think Portugal is going to play with? Who do you think is going to shine? Are we going to go through? And yeah, man, you have the qualification on your side. I want to know.
We do, but before we get there, I got to bring up Turkey because some of their pieces have been in very good form as of late. So it'll be interesting to see if that translates over. I mean, Cengiz Ünder has been in form for Marseille. Yaziki has been, not that I really want to talk about any Russian teams, but he's been playing very, very well for CSKA Moscow. Marie Demiral had a phenomenal game the other day. So it'll be interesting. I share your sentiment that they will get through Turkey. It's more so the Italians in the final that are going to be really interesting, but we can go on to that after we it's just amazing to me. I was looking at your roster construction and I see like a 39-year-old Pep, 38-year-old Jose Font, and then a 20-year-old Gonzalo Inacio, and you're like, there's nobody in there that has figured out a way to become as relevant. Obviously, Ruben Diaz, but there's nobody in there that has found a way to become as relevant as a 39-year-old Pep and a 38-year-old Jose Font, right?
There is like Fabio Cardoso at Porto that could get a shot, but yeah, it's sad. I get you, Breton. Font was a late bloomer though. Like Font, all of a sudden, for all Portuguese people, they were like, "Who's this baller at Southampton, man? A leader? Yeah. Nobody's mentioning him." Like, so he grew with Southampton. So
and then winning with Lille, right? Winning with Lille. I think very smart. Luckily, your jitteriness, I don't think that's a word, but your worries, your nerves, made me calm down a little bit because yes, I am very nervous about what's to come. The U.S. men's national team, we are not yet out of the woods when it comes to this. We all remember how however many years ago that was now, getting ready for World Cup 2018. It was a 97% chance that we would wind up on our way to the World Cup in 2018. All we needed to do was go down to Trinidad and Tobago, dead last in qualification at that time. And all we needed to do was not lose. And then we needed other teams, even if we did lose, we needed other teams not to win. Okay. So all these different things had to happen. And it was a 3% chance that we weren't going to, the World Cup. And guess what? It all happened. I still remember, ingrained in my brain, Christian Pulisic, the picture of him slumped over, crying, at midfield, in Cuba, Trinidad, Tobago, and there you go. And obviously, if that didn't happen, you wouldn't have this attachment to this. I don't think it's not unfair to say that this is a golden generation that is brewing right now for the United States. We'll see if they don't get to a World Cup. That's a completely different story. But here's where it stands with the U.S., okay? They have to go into Mexico, a place that they've never won before with World Cup qualifying. They have to go to Estadio Azteca, and they have to do it knowing that the most crucial fixture 3 days later is a home match against Panama, okay? So they're likely not going to field an A squad, their best squad, at Estadio Azteca. And if you get railroaded, okay, in Estadio Azteca, what does that do for your morale heading into Panama, where you absolutely need 3 points? Because Panama is, nipping at the heels of both the U.S. and Mexico, okay? So really what it comes down to is we absolutely need a point from either Estadio Azteca, Mexico, or Costa Rica, another place that the U.S. men's national team in World Cup qualifying has never won. Okay? They've gotten points, but they've never won. Now, factor in that we're doing it without Serginho Dest, just injured in that Galatasaray game. Okay? We're doing it without Weston McKennie, metatarsal, broken. We might be doing it, and I hope it's not true, but I just saw that Brendan Aronson might be out. But we'll see. Hopefully I'm wrong about that. I haven't looked up on Twitter, so don't roast me. But we do have a Gio Reyna back who, he did deliver a nice assist. We have Christian Pulisic back in some semblance of form, good form. But they need to show up. This is all about whether or not, we stunt this growth that's happening in this country, or we we put up or shut up, right? We get it done, and I'm worried too. But all you
I believe.
all you,
I believe
all
in
you
you
can
guys,
do is
man.
be hopeful. And right now, you sharing your pain with Fernando Santos is exactly how I feel about Greg Berhalter. When you look at his roster construction, there are players that we all know, probably based on talent, should not be there. Okay,
Exactly.
based on familiarity with the head coach, they're Greg's buddies, right? Christian Roldan, and nothing against him as an MLS player, he's phenomenal. But Christian Roldan, and you've got Kellen. Well, Kellen Acosta probably is going to play a big role for us. So there's those players. I feel that, and unfortunately, Fernando Santos has obviously shown that he could win before. Greg Berhalter, okay, he's won some things for us.
He won the Gold Cup.
Won the Gold Cup with the B team.
With the bench. The bench, supposedly. With Matt Turner doing amazingly.
Yeah.
But yeah, who do you think is going to be the best U.S. player? U.S. national team player? Pepe? Pepe can shock the world?
No.
The eyeballs are going to be looking.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to want it because his time at Augsburg since making that $20 million move has not been very good so far, and he's yet to score a goal. So I think he wants it. But no, I mean, we know who it has to be. It has to be Christian Pulisic. Has to be Christian. Has to be Captain America himself. And if it's not him,
LeBron James is soccer.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not him, it has to be Yunus Musa. Yunus Musa is one of the biggest players for me because I believe he's filling Weston McKennie's shoes, and I think he has the talent to do it. But this is when you start to think these are a bunch of 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds and 21-year-olds, But
that's what you got to go with, Breton. Like, be built for the rebuild, and 2026 is coming, and I think you guys can definitely go out of the knockouts, the group stages, with the development of these players. So tell us down below, who do you think is going to line up with the U.S.? How is it going to go? And yeah, you said a lot of players that have good relationships with the manager and all that. Yeah. I was thinking, who has good relationships with Southgate? It must be Maguire, right? Because Maguire got selected ahead of one of the best center backs in Serie A in the last 18 months. Yeah. And that was Fikayo Tomori. Didn't get selected, and Maguire did. Yeah. Explanation time, Southgate. I'm not even going to go against Mark Gahey because, for me, deserved. Excellent campaign he's doing with Crystal Palace.
Sure.
But Maguire and Luke Shaw.
Yeah, Connor Cody. I mean, he's been great for Wolves, but come on. Fikayo Tomori has done absolute wonders for AC Milan, a team that is on top pretty much against all odds, right? Yes, they're on top of Serie A right now by 3 points. He absolutely deserves to be in that squad. And we're talking about friendlies, right? We're not talking about qualifiers. We're talking about friendlies. So I agree with you. Tomori should 100% be there.
I'm going to go bold and say, like, for me, Dan Burn maybe deserves more than Maguire and England call up for friendlies, okay? For friendlies, like you just said. Because, yeah, he's doing bits at Newcastle. Yeah. So I agree with you. Because, yeah, friendlies, there's no explanation for this. And look, I do think Trent is injured. Yeah. But do you know what I'm saying? There's a bit of speculation about how bad is the injury, and is it like, look, you don't need to play those games for England. So
you think it's Klopp tactics? Hey, Trent.
I'm speculating here, but
your hammy's hurting. You're not going to
We all remember that Southgate didn't select him a couple of months ago. So, like, there's clear preferences on Southgate's mind for the right back spot with players. But Kyle Walker not being selected makes an excellent stat for every Arsenal fan to brag, okay? That Arsenal right now is the team with the most England national team players, okay? Arsenal with 4. Ramsdale, man, like Ramsdale. And I'm going to ask you this. Will he start ahead of Pickford?
Probably not. I think also Ramsdale just picked up an injury. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I think he picked up an injury. I don't think he's going to be playing for that. I could be wrong. I didn't double check on that. And I know that got me in trouble the other.
That must have been like an hour ago.
Yeah,
because
like, I think Ramsdale might not be in because Leno started the other day. No.
No, but that was yeah. That's all management.
That's all management. All right. Well then, yes. If Ramsdale's healthy, he should get a start.
I agree. For me, Ramsdale should start ahead of Pickford, no doubt. And yeah, the other question I have is Harry Kane, no doubt, is the player who starts always for England, as he should.
Yeah.
But should Tammy Abraham maybe get a shot to start ahead of Kane?
Yeah, I mean, based on what he's doing in Serie A, but it's pretty clear that there's no Serie A love when it comes to these Englishmen doing bits in Serie A. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure Harry Kane will get the start, and Tammy Abraham will get 20 junk minutes to score.
And Tammy's got like 38 games, 21 goals, 4 assists, and he's the top goal scorer in the Conference League with 7 goals. So the stats are with Tammy. So is there any player you think is gonna be a surprise starter for England?
Bukayo Saka. I mean, I'm wearing the Arsenal jersey, part of a mea culpa type of thing. You know, remember when we called their death and Mikel Arteta out and all that fun stuff. But Bukayo Saka is back to being Mr. Lightning Bolt for them. He scored the goal the other day. I hope he gets a start in both games. I hope he gets a chance to show. It might even be at right back. Who the hell knows? But I really do hope Saka gets his chance. I hope Conor Gallagher gets a couple more minutes this time around too.
I'll go with Jude Bellingham. So I'd like Jude to go ahead with his development.
Yeah.
And yeah, the both wings. I'd love to see Foden. And the other wing with Saka. So yeah, tell us down below. Yo, we have to. Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
No Sancho.
Oh yeah.
Okay. For England. So that was like crazy. So Rashford is understandable. Okay, but Sancho ain't being picked for England. Jeez.
And I'm not.
I was a bit like Jack Grealish.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think Smith Rowe's in there, right? Smith Rowe.
Yes.
Okay.
Smith Rowe is. Yeah. I think he should be.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, but you're right. I mean, Phil Foden. Just watching some of these guys, it's going to give us a little bit of a glimpse into the 9 months into the future, 8 months into the future, when we are starting the World Cup.
Mount.
But I'll tell you what. Yeah, Mount. But I'll tell you what, we probably got to go back if we're going to talk about, international friendlies before we snap back to World Cup qualifiers. French national team. Let's talk about that for a second, right? What it takes. This is what it took Christopher Nkunku to get his first call up. Okay, you ready for this? 26 goals, 15 assists. He needed 41 goal involvements before he was called up, right? And he better get his deserved time. Okay, it's a couple friendlies. He's got 7 goals in 6 Champions League games. They're still in it. They got the Europa League. But it's just amazing to me. It shows you the depth of talent, but it also shows you it's tough. Roster construction for a French team is really tough because of the depth of talent. And it doesn't guarantee that they're going to be 100% themselves. Talk about Bruno. You were talking about Bruno Fernandes for Portugal. He's not the same player. But Christopher Nkunku, I just love seeing that. Guendouzi getting his call up, could build on his first cap. I think that's deserved as well. And then what warmed my heart was watching that video of Len, Racing Len, I think is what, a League One team, journeyman left back, Jonathan Klaus. He's not well known unless you've been watching League One this past year, but he gets his first Les Bleus call up at the age of 29. And it was cool to see that. So a wonder kid in cap form, not not in age form, but it just cool to see.
Great show. And I think too, just adding to what you said, I think in the top 4 goal involvements in the world, 3 are French. I think Benzema, Mbappe, and Nkunku are in the top 4. Like the 3 of them are ahead. So it's like, you mentioned how difficult it is.
Yeah.
That's the level for a player like Nkunku that needs to show up during a season.
He deserves more. He's solid on set pieces. I mean, I'd like to see him play. I would love to see him play into a role for that World Cup.
But he's gonna leave. He's gonna leave before the. I think September, October hits. Yeah. People are gonna be talking a bunch more about Nkunku because Nkunku is gonna leave RB Leipzig and he'll be heading somewhere. He'll be more respected, I'd say. Even Newcastle should be in the race for him. But yes, you mentioned World Cup qualifiers. Where would you like to end up with this?
Well, if you make it through Turkey, okay. We're going to have to be looking at an Italy that, okay, it's not exactly surprising, but it's an Italy that is without Balotelli. Okay.
Good team.
But you know what was baffling to me? I was going through their roster construction and obviously okay, their midfield, absolutely world class, right? Nico Barella, Marco Verratti, Jorginho, Locatelli, Tonali, all called up. Okay. I don't know how you pick 3 to put on the field. That's different story, right?
Verratti.
But yeah, he has to be on the field. But looking at this, okay, one thing really surprised me. How, what do you think the all-time leading scorer for the Azzurri is? How many goals do you think they have?
I'd say 40.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's actually a pretty good guess. I was really surprised, but I get it that there's never been long-term. There hasn't been Cristiano Ronaldo.
True, exactly. That's what.
It's 35 goals. You were very close. Okay. And this is by a guy named Gigi Riva, who played back in the 60s and the 70s. And we have to think about it because you had, let's see, you had Alessandro Del Piero, you had Roberto Baggio, you had Simone Inzaghi, you had Vieri come through as strikers. Hell, even Luca Toni, right? Totti. You had all these guys come through, and none of them even broke 30. None of them. And that's just really surprising to me. But it makes sense because it feels like Italy has always just had that world-class midfield. They build out of that midfield. They get a lot of goals from their central defenders. And I just was pretty surprised about that. So when it comes down to it, I don't think it's going to be a Ciro Immobile,
last minute winner
versus North Macedonia or versus Portugal in the final, maybe. I think it's going to be, you got to find a way to break that midfield down and make sure that midfield does not take over a fixture. But really interesting to walk
again. Yeah. We won't go break that midfield with Danilo and William. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we need a guy like Felix. Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like when I mentioned Bernardo Silva in midfield, like I saw an interview, João Tralhão, which was a coach of Bernardo Silva at Benfica youngsters, and he said Bernardo is a born midfielder, but people just can't admit it because of his size. He is a leader on the pitch. He's not afraid to go to the tackle. He's extremely intelligent on when to be. Like he's really a proper good midfielder. So yeah, I have to put my respects on that.
Yeah. Well, other World Cup qualifiers, man, I got to bring up this because I think you'll like it. Sweden is going to be taking on the Czech Republic. Okay. Czech Republic, we know Adam Hozek is one that we really like. But
Elanga got his first call up for England, for Sweden.
Exactly. For Sweden, exactly. And that's where I was going. And this is a guy that's been singled out for praise by Cristiano Ronaldo. He's been singled out for praise by Ralph Rangnick. He's been singled out for praise by Dwight York, who I think did one-on-one training sessions with him back in the day. And he's interacting obviously with Ronaldo and soaking up the knowledge with a sponge, hopefully. But what I really like about it and why I think Sweden will get through the Czech Republic is because you put him in there, you put him maybe as a late sub or something like that, just his work rate, his determination. He's probably one of the few bright spots of watching Manchester United right now, at least their future. Agreed. And that inclusion, it was nice that they did that because you're putting him in with some it's a pretty good attack for Sweden, right? You've got Isak, who's not fully informed, but he's okay. Emil Forsberg, you've got some really Klaassen, who does pretty well in Russia. You've Kulusevski. So it's pretty good that he's gotten this in such a big World Cup qualifying campaign.
And then we all know.
Yeah.
Sorry. We all know Isaac for Sweden is built different.
True.
It's not the same.
True. But Czech Republic, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough for them. But they also have another guy that gets added to that mix, which we don't mention often. And I actually saw on TikTok a lot of people commenting this guy's name, and rightfully so, because AZ Alkmaar's Jesper Karlsson, he's up to 17 goals, 9 assists this season, one of the top scorers in the Eredivisie, and he still has not scored his first goal for Sweden, but he's included, and that attack force is going to be interesting.
Great call up.
I'm calling Sweden to get it done in the coming days. And
I agree.
We'll see. We'll see.
I agree with you. I think they'll beat Czech Republic, and then, well, I think it's Poland, and yeah, I think they'll get. Well, it's difficult. Lewandowski has a lot to. We might. That's gonna be hard. That's gonna be a hard game. And then we have Wales Austria, which I think Wales is gonna get it done with Gareth Bale needing to go to the World Cup too.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I mean, Gareth Bale is gonna do Gareth Bale things, which he's not currently doing for Real Madrid. I mean, hey, remember when I was touting a certain big man for Austria, who seems to be in form?
Yes.
For a long period of time, but Sasha Kalajic is back, and I think he's on the roster. So watch that name. Watch that name.
Oh, you love him. You love him. So, people, any World Cup qualifiers predictions that you have, lineups, anything that you think you'd add up to FC Wonderkid, please put down below in the comment section, okay? Get that knowledge. We love to know what you guys know. So, last topics now is news in general, Wonderkids and the news. So, starting up, I have to say, okay, watching the Juve game, how disappointing like Rugani and the Elite were. I'm seeing news about Rüdiger now going to the Velha Signora, and it makes total sense, man. Rüdiger for a 4-year deal. Okay, it's the right move, I think, for Rüdiger to go back to Serie A, where he was at Roma successful. And yeah, Juve is a sleeping giant that you're gonna have a place, and then it's good.
It's a good shout. Actually, I saw Antonio Rüdiger and Mo Salah playing for AS Roma when I went to Rome years ago.
Good times.
And I remember thinking Rüdiger back then, he just fit. He was right there. He was at home. So that's a good shout for him to return Juventus. Although I think Real Madrid, it would make for just better talk, Barcelona, Real Madrid talk, with all the craziness going on with like Barcelona bringing in every free transfer they could find these days. But yeah, that's an interesting shout. But I got to go back to it, man. How good is it to have Wesley Fofana back? Okay, Wesley Fofana is back, and not only did he come back, he started against Stade Rennais. It was a loss, but he scored the goal. He played relatively well, and like you said, you think Leicester City might be a favorite for the Europa Conference League. I think it all starts with whether or not Wesley Fofana can get back to peak form for it. But I just want to say, he was one of our biggest. We were touting him, and then that massive injury beginning of the season started. So all I can say is welcome back, boss. Welcome back, Wesley. We are happy to see you again.
And just adding up to that too, I think before he came back from injury playing, he had a contract extension until 2027. So that is Leicester showing that they are faithful on Wesley Fofana.
Rightfully.
And yeah, they must have been like, he's back the same, so we're going to cash in big time. Just like we did with Harry Maguire.
Yes.
So, but Fofana is different. But excellent show. I am going to mention now Eriksen. I forgot to say that Eriksen got selected for Denmark, Christian Eriksen.
Yeah.
So that is a great inclusion again. So he's back, and yeah, let's see what's gonna happen with Denmark. But
I just literally got a notification. 2 seconds.
About this?
Christian Eriksen with COVID. He's out again.
You see, we're being watched. I'm joking.
No, I mean,
but yes,
because I was surprised when I saw the Brentford started a game earlier, and I was surprised he wasn't in the 11, nor the 18. And then just not even 2 seconds ago, it says Christian Eriksen is out of the Danish national team due to COVID. They said that there is a possibility that he might link back up with them later on in the training camp. So let's hope that happens. But get better, Christian. Man.
It's true, and I gotta say this. We spoke about Benzema, but Benzema did something huge this past week, and Benzema became the French player with the most goals in the history of football, ahead of Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
So I gotta say that leading up to the Champions League game against Chelsea, this is a big, bold stat that Benzema achieved. So I gotta say it. I had to say that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a hell of a shout, because it's remember earlier this year we were talking about the normalization of the goal scoring, right? And just how, like, Robert Lewandowski makes it look so easy. Erling Haaland at that time before his injury, and he's now since come back, was making it look easy. Well, Erling Haaland, when he got injured, Karim Benzema is still doing it, man. He's still doing it, and has been. He's been relatively, knock on wood, been pretty resilient this year in terms of injury. And man, is he in form? I think he added 2 more goals the other day, right? So just looking absolutely wonderful. While across the way, and there is a Clasico today. We're filming this on Sunday, 4:00 Eastern here. You know, Barcelona with their new Spotify deal finally announced. There was something that came up that was really interesting to me. And I think it was Zach, it might have been Zach Lowy or Joe Pompliano, somebody on Twitter, that said this. It's a big deal, right? It's like $65 million a year or something that is going to get injected into Barcelona's coffers. But what was interesting was that number actually was revised down. And that's because Barcelona purports to have 350 million like registered Barcelona fans. Okay. When in reality, when Spotify did some digging, it was like not even 1 or 2% of that were actually like registered, I guess, fans. Okay. So that caused, I guess, Spotify to revise the fee, or, you know, what they're paying for sponsorship down. 65 million a year is still pretty good money, but they could have gotten more, I guess, when it comes down to it. And it just seems so weird to me that the commercialization, over commercialization of this. We're now going to call it Spotify Camp Nou. Now?
Yeah, exactly. I get you. It's like Lakers. They changed the name of the stadium, and now they're losing nonstop. Yeah. Let's just hope that doesn't happen with Barca. But they have to get transfers with that money, and I always every pod say Haaland, Barca, but like I just ending with the Real Benzema. I was thinking to myself, like, Haaland doesn't go to Real Madrid because Benzema is scoring those goals that when he's injured, Benzema can't stop scoring. So, excellent shout. You said that. Excellent. I was thinking in the back of my head, no, stop that. But now Barca, with that money, what are they going to do? I see news. I suggested Bayern Munich to go get Rashford. But I see a lot of people saying Barca should go get Rashford. What do you think about that deal?
Can't keep Dembele? He could play a role, I suppose.
Dembele out, the buyout too. Those two are gonna go.
You think so? I mean, it almost has to be. But I don't know. I mean, they've shown that they're willing to consider creative, I don't know, accounting in order to get all this done. But yeah, Rashford, I don't know. It seems a little overly ambitious. I mean, more on the front, because I think he gets paid too much for his talent at this time, and he's been very injury prone as of late. Nothing against Marcus Rashford as a human, but I don't know. I like the move more so, and I think it was, of course, it was Fabrizio Romano that reported this, but I like them bringing in Franck Kessié. Did you see that? That they have probably gotten Franck Kessié on free.
Yes, but it's one of those free agent signings, man. And it's midfield. I'm like, you know who I am. I'm like Haaland, all or nothing type beat, and like get the defense at Barca figured out next to Ronald Araújo, or even extend Ronald Araújo because we don't know if that's gonna happen. But yeah, Kessié is a good. You think he's gonna start straight away? Of course he is. Busquets,
I believe so. I believe so. I mean, you need somebody. You need to start preparing for the future without Busquets. That's true. And not that he's a like for like change with him, but I was impressed with that one. That if they can get that over the line, that's a good one. Along with if they can get Christensen
and I have your player that I think they're gonna get, and he is like all eyes on Barca. It's Mazrui of Ajax, the right back. Like I think he's like saying, "Oh, my dream is Danielle. She's the legend I prefer." Yeah. Like he's all over Barca.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he'd be a really good signing.
Yeah,
my right back.
My reaction there was not Mazraoui idolizing Dani Alves. My reaction there was Serginho just beat out Mazraoui at Ajax. He'll beat him out again at Barcelona. Okay. I don't know. I'm sorry. I like him as a player. I like Mazraoui as a player, but I like Serginho Dest, and I like his ceiling is so much higher than Mazraoui, my opinion. So.
But yeah, let's see who's gonna play next season for Barcelona, man. Put down below. What do you think is gonna happen at the right back slot for Barca? But yeah, I was really like that. But yeah, you mentioned now Dest, man. That's true. I didn't even think about that. But I have to mention this on pod. I can't forget this. Fabio Carvalho made the right choice and chose the Portuguese under-21 national team. I love it. Yeah. I love it when I was seeing it. I was so hyped. And people, if you don't know about him, watch out. Fabio Carvalho at Fulham. Yeah. Baller.
And it made me realize I got a little piece of humble pie the other day when, a couple pods ago I was talking about Valérien Balogun potentially accepting a U.S. men's national team call-up. And I know he's not ruling it out, but he just accepted a English U21 call-up, pouring a little cold water on my excitement on the quest for another striker for the U.S. men's national team. But hey, what can you do? We'll see.
That's a tough one. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I didn't know about... And Vitinha's next to Fabio Carvalho, man. So
man, Fabio Carvalho.
Maybe our under-21s beat the main national team. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's great. Well, there was... what else did I want to bring up? Are we on general?
I have another thing I got to mention. Okay. So it's like Pedri. Okay, I know you wanted to talk about Pedri against Galatasaray, but now I have to say this. At what level is Pedri really? Like, Barcelona tweets a generational talent, Pedri, but like, what do you think Pedri is right now? Is he Messi, next player, Iniesta type player? Because people are really doubtful. What's the ceiling on Pedri?
I know.
I'm just going to say this. Pedri at 18 has been shortlisted for the Ballon d'Or top 30. At 18. Just saying. And he's won a Golden Boy. Yeah. Pedri at 18. So.
Yeah. There's a quality to him that it just doesn't seem like it's ever going to get weaker. It only seems like it's just going to get stronger. He just seems like, barring any ridiculous injuries or setbacks, like he's destined to become something like that, like a Messi. But I can't go there right now. It's too early.
So
yeah.
I can lead up with something I wrote here that I think links really well with this, and I have a question leading up to it. And Xavi said this: in England, if you do a couple of things right and play a few good games, people talk about being a legend. The media overrates a lot of players. This is what Xavi said about the English media. Yeah. Now, my question to you is, like, do you think Pedri is better than Phil Foden? And if he is, do you think the media has a bit of an effect on that? Because I'll be honest with you, I am edging with Pedri now. A bit.
Yeah.
I'm edging bit by bit to Pedri, man. I really believe the levels of Pedri are becoming close to untouchable in midfield for a youngster.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going high on Pedri. I'm really going high on Pedri.
Yeah, I mean, just what he did previous to what he has shown recently. We have to remember what his 2021 looked like. Right?
Exactly.
2021 was just hectic, insane, and just mesmerizing to watch until obviously he kind of was broken down and needed a recharge, understandably. And to take on that responsibility with what he's done, Phil Foden has done it in certain. I mean, for Manchester City, one of the best teams on the planet.
No doubt.
So for England, so I don't think it's overhype when it comes to Phil Foden either. I think I would still take Phil Foden as it stands.
Ahead of Pedri.
As it stands.
I'm edging Pedri, man.
But I want to say it could change, and this World Cup is going to be everything. This World Cup is going to be everything. So,
and I do think Pedri for Spain.
Yeah.
Foden's going to be special too for England. My prediction was Foden was going to be one of the best players for England in the World Cup. Just so people saying down below, who would you edge with, Pedri or Foden? Like, who would you go with? And if there is any youngster that has to be mentioned next to the category, okay, Jude, like, go bold and say it down below. But yes, I have a youngster here that surprised me. I have to say, Trincão first half subbed on. Scores a goal, does an assist. Yeah. I was hyped up. Yeah. And what happens during that game?
Jesse Marsch. I mean, come on. We have to be very honest here. That Raul Jimenez send-off was pretty crap. Trincão he had that game by the scruff of the neck, and he looked solid when he came on for an injured. Who was it that was? I forget who was injured. But he came on for an injured somebody.
I know Ruben Neves came off injured.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that was kind of like, that's yes, and then Donker went to midfield. I think it was Ruben Neves, yes.
Yeah, and it wasn't necessarily not to take away from Trincão's impact, because it was great. But watching that I mean, I'm not going to say they're clear. Leeds United is clear necessarily of relegation, but it was dire straits when he had first taken over. And just what Wolves still needed, even a man down. Wolves still needed to let up 3 goals. True. They still had a 2-0 lead, and they blew it. I mean, the defending from Roman Saiz, from some of the players. First off, it was uncharacteristic, not what I had seen from that Bruno Lage team previously. But it was poetic for Jesse Marsch. They had 3 injuries previous to that. Ilan Meslier went off with an injury after that ridiculous collision. I forget who else, but Calvin Phillips is still not on the field. He was not part of that, but he wasn't on the field for them. Patrick Bamford, who's been injured.
He went injured.
He went off injured.
Big injury.
When it comes down to it, they scored 2 goals in 2 minutes to tie it up. And then they have an injury time winner, and it's not the first time they've done this. It's the second time in the last 2 games that Leeds United have pulled one out of their butt. They have literally pulled 6 points out of thin air in order to move 7 points out of relegation. And
Jesse Marsch effect.
Yeah, and I can only say that had nothing to do with tactics. It had everything to do with desire, everything to do with pressing, getting a whole lot of luck. And Jesse Marsch you see it, right? Jesse Marsch is a player's coach, and Leeds United needed that right now. They need that right now, right, moving forward. And I hope it continues. If Jesse Marsch succeeds in the Premier League, he will do more. He will have a Christian Pulisic effect on American football at that magnitude, right? Christian Pulisic opening up the door for Europe to all these players. Jesse Marsch opening up the door to Europe for American coaches is absolutely unbelievably massive if he's successful. And if Twins does not make him successful, it's still very early.
And there was like a college team, I think, Wake Forest, right? This was like playing Brentford B, and they were like beating them like 4-1. And also, like, people are watching the development that you guys are doing. So it's hyped. It's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
And you said match winner, last minute winner. Yeah. I'm gonna mention a countryman fast. Tiago Tomás phenomenal job you're doing at Stuttgart. Got 3 goals already. Keep on going, my guy. Bora, Tiago. He scored like the same amount of goals he scored at Sporting already at Stuttgart.
Yes.
So it was a right choice to go. Great move. And keep on going, Tiago Tomás. Bora.
Yeah, he's got 3 goals and 5 starts for Stuttgart. Had the 85th minute winner over Augsburg. And over 3 seasons, Tomás put up 3 goals and 48 appearances for Sporting. So he's already matched his goal scoring for Sporting in much less time, and still 19 years old. So great to
He needed that.
Chance.
He needed that.
Yeah.
So, and there is a stat too that I forgot to say with the English lineup, and it is for Saka, the man of your jersey, the best player of Arsenal, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He became the youngest Englishman to score 5 away goals in a season. Okay.
Wow.
And Saka this season already has 10 goals and 5 assists. Okay, so yeah, he deserves to be called the best player at Arsenal. So I really had to say that because crazy stats.
I'm with you. That's a good shout. And I think Arsenal also, I think they've won 5 consecutive away matches, which is like the first time in a pretty long time that they've done that. So
like
Arsenal,
for Arsenal, if it wasn't that blimp against Jota, like the proper menace against Arsenal at all times, like Arsenal would be like people going crazy now, like saying Haaland is gonna join Arsenal because he's best friends with Odegaard,
right?
And we're gonna get top 4. Like, come on, like people just can see, I can feel the hype with Arsenal fans already. So if they get top 4, the scenes this summer are gonna be madness.
I gotta say, I mean, I know I'm wearing an Arsenal jersey right now, but I was happy to see Liverpool pull that win out in the sense that we now have, and we did not think this a couple months ago, we now have a very exciting Premier League title race. Unfortunately, it's only with 2, not like Serie A where it's like 4 guys are in it, 4 teams are in it. But it's gonna be a fight. It's going to be a fight because both of them have multiple fronts, and it's great. But yes, Arsenal's probably at the point now where you almost have to say, hey, before Mikel Arteta potentially out because of being part of a relegation scrap earlier in the year. Well, now it's what do you do if Mikel Arteta does not consolidate their position in the top 4, which they have every chance to do. Ahead. They don't have multiple fronts. They have the Premier League essentially to focus on, and if he doesn't get it done, questions.
They're gonna go now against United, focused on the top 4 now. So we're gonna see a very different Man United. I can see this is my prediction. Ending the pod like it's Man United, man. Like this, they're gonna look different with the top 4. And I have to say this too. Like I see the news, and I believe there's a grain of truth in this. And it's Neymar. Like reports are saying that Newcastle is asking around to get Neymar, and the fees are 80 million transfer to PSG and 500,000 a week to Neymar. Okay, these are the numbers.
Let's spend that. Go for Nkunku. Go for Nkunku.
Go for Nkunku. That's actually a really good suggestion. For 80 million, go for Nkunku and Sven Botman. Invest for the future. Like, woo! I ain't saying Gravenberch because Gravenberch, he's going to Bayern or someone like that. So I saw the news. I went to see the news after.
Well, but before we sign off, it's now 2 pods. I've forgotten to mention him. We talked about Fikayo Tomori. And the last Wonderkid I just have to mention, he's been absolutely lights out for AC Milan. Pierre Kalulu has been just great. I think it's like last 4 games, 4 clean sheets. He's been an unsung hero for them pretty, recently. As of late, they're now 3 points ahead.
Great cheap boy.
So Pierre Kalulu deserves people's attention. I believe he came out of Lyon. So he's one that they kind of cast off, and he found his way. It took him a while, but he found his way at Milan, and I'm excited to see.
I think that's the best Maldini deal that people are saying. Like saying, oh, he's really good with management. Kalulu. Like, so now the departure of Kessié, he'll have to work big time because Tonali ain't staying if he doesn't get a team that can be with them, with his levels. So, Benacer, he scored a really good goal yesterday too.
I needed that.
But
yeah,
can AC Milan win the Serie A? That's another question. So people, comment down below anything that we've missed out in the general news. And episode 48, it's in the wraps. Please do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the video. And if you want to help us more, follow us on Spotify, okay? It's a huge help. And go visit fcwonderkid.com and go cop the merch, man. Go bold, people.